we on? Okay. Today I'm going to attempt to do a new type of artwork called a puddle pour pet portrait. So, I know you guys remember when I did this one, and this was done on paper, and I have prints available of it online for sale too, if you're interested. But today I'd like to try to attempt something similar, but on a canvas. And I believe this is a 10 by 10 canvas. So let's see what we come up with. I'm using a combination of acrylic paint, distilled water, and pouring medium called Floetrol. And I'm first going to pour on a white base. So here we go. I don't know if you can see that very well. And then I'm going to spread it around carefully. I have this set up in a shoebox, and then underneath my canvas I have some just like little tiny cups to kind of prop it up off the floor, so to speak, of the box that I have it in. I have this all set up inside of a shoebox to contain the paint, so I don't have to have a big fancy setup and worry about getting paint everywhere. So my first goal is to cover the whole canvas with, this is just the mixture that I already told you about, but there's no silicone oil or anything in it yet. My goal is to try to create that swirliness with maybe a few cells in it and stuff. You'll just have to wait and see, I guess. So I'm going to get this all spread around. Some of it might drip over the sides, and that's okay. I have all of this, like the canvas is actually sitting over the top of a garbage bag, or you could use a piece of saran wrap. I opened up the garbage bag so that when I'm done I can just lift it out of the bag and it will have caught all the drips, so the drips won't like leak through the cardboard shoebox. I'm going to try and get all the paint to kind of go over the sides too. And I'm just using a popsicle stick. Makes me think of people when they're pouring cement. This kind of project kind of reminds me of life. It's kind of messy. You don't really know what's going to happen for sure in your life. Some things are good that happen, some things are bad, but you never know how exactly it's all going to turn out. We get pushed and pulled around, just like this paint. We make mistakes. We go over the edge. We get pushed over the edge a lot. And we have to make decisions. Sometimes they're really hard ones. Sometimes they're fun. Sometimes you think you're doing an amazing job, and then boom, you make a mistake just when you think things are going really well. And sometimes when you think things are not going well, you end up with some really cool, happy surprises that you weren't even expecting. I like painting. I like to paint alone because it gives me a lot of time to reflect. Right now, I'm actually totally procrastinating because I should be working on other projects, but I'm trying to get back into art mode after a long week of making commercials for my website and processing orders and just shipping orders and that kind of thing, and just life. Okay, I've about got my sides all covered, and just so you know, I am not an expert in this. I'm just learning how to do this. I've learned from some really awesome artists on YouTube that have shared what they've learned. Primarily an artist named Karen Goodrich, who she has an awesome YouTube channel and has a lot of really neat ideas for acrylic pouring. But I'm trying to come up with another idea for portraits that is a little more modern and unique and still be of your dog, but it's more, instead of an exact replica of your dog, it's more of an abstract impression of your dog. Or cat, or pet, whatever. But primarily, I do dogs. Oops. Hopefully I won't run out of memory on my device before I finish this. Okay. Now I have stuff all over my fingers. Should have had a paper towel ready, but I don't. I wonder if I should put a little bit more paint on here. I'm just going to add a little bit more to the top. And I had some paint already mixed that has the silicone oil in it. But it's been sitting in the garage for a while, so hopefully this will work. And if this works, I'm going to call this my first portrait of my studio pup, Gertie. She's actually quite a great employee. She's a rescue dog from Louisiana. She came up right after Hurricane Harvey. And she's been a great addition to our family and a great companion to me, and I just love her so much. I never thought I could love a dog that much, but I really do love that dog. And I use her a lot for, like, just to look at her anatomy and the way she moves and her paws are shaped and stuff, and she's a very useful employee. She's helped me meet new clients, and she's a great model. She's really good on camera. I don't know if it's because I've taken so many pictures of her since she's been a puppy and she's just used to it, but she does really well posing for pictures for some reason. I probably shouldn't be sticking my fingers in this. I'll wash my hands. Okay, coming back. Oh, I still have time? Okay, we're at almost 10 minutes here. Okay, so the next thing I think I'm going to do is I've got some blue mixed up here. This is this bright blue. I'm going to try and work quickly here so I don't run out of time. Okay, so first I'm going to look at my picture and I'm going to pour a puddle for the rear end. And then a puddle for the head that's a little smaller. Oh, that's kind of big. This might end up being super abstract. This might end up not being a dog at all, because I made that way. Okay, and now I need to go at this angle for the shoulders. And then I need drip here. Oh, where'd my light go? Oop, okay. And then I need, okay, I think what I'm going to do next is drag the paint around to get the shapes that I want to achieve. Oh, I have to work really fast, and I'm not used to working fast. So I'm connecting the circles now. I might be able to save this. I don't know. This looks weird. You guys probably can't really see what I'm doing super well, but I'll show you at the end. I'm basically just dragging the paint around. This is one of Gertie's all-time poses that she always does. It's like this cute little downward dog type pose. And then we gotta drag her little tail, like her circus dog tail that she does. Now, how do I do this? This is like really different for me because I'm used to being very precise, and there is nothing precise about this at all. So it's almost more stressful for me. Okay, so to make the snout, I guess we're just gonna drag this out. Holy crap. Pardon me, but it's actually working. The only thing I don't really like is these. I could sit here and do this for hours. And I don't know if you've been listening to me as I've been doing this, but have you noticed I've panicked a few times thinking, oh no, what have I done? It's a lot like life. There's a lot of panicky times where you think, oh shoot, what have I done? And then somehow things work out. The only thing that looks a little bit odd is there was a little dot there that looked kind of like a little gas bubble shooting out of her rear end. So I had to blend that back in. But all in all, this isn't too shabby. Let's see, I need to drag her back up a little bit. She does this super cute little squatty thing, and she has like the skinniest waist, but huge like her really springy legs, back legs. Oh, Gertie bird. Not perfect, but this is a pose that I remember her by, which that's what makes it, that's what's important, is that it makes me remember her. And my family will always remember this, the way that she used to do this. I need to make her nose a little pointier. I'm just doing this from memory, so this is not going to be perfect. She has more of a pointy mouth. Oh, excuse me. Now the question is it done? See, I've got a ball here, but the thing with Gertie is she always has like 3 balls, and she wants to try to put them all in her mouth at the same time. So I think I'm going to add another ball here. Maybe I'll give her one more. The balls are actually kind of look like they're just floating in the air, which I wasn't really planning that, but it is what it is, I guess. And the other question is, do I add any other colors to this, or do I just live and let live? Because I had gray in it in the other one that I did. The cool thing about this is I can come back throughout the day and move paint around for a little while, because it's on so thick that it won't dry. It'll probably take 24 hours to dry. So I can go back and add like darker parts to add some shadowing, like kind of outline her body. Like I can dip the tip of my popsicle stick into the paint, this darker paint, and I'm using it to kind of outline her form a little bit. Not make it perfect, just accentuate some of the details. And the other thing about this is that it's going to morph even more after I stop playing with it. I wish I had a better setup so you could see what I'm doing. Gosh, I think it's almost done. All right, are you ready to see what I did? I am going to try to switch this around. And that's what I have so far. So maybe I'll send a picture later and just show you how it actually turns out. But for now, I'm going to close. So we'll talk soon. So this is what I have so far. I made a few adjustments and I couldn't help myself and added a few more details to Gertie's body. I found a picture that I took earlier this year of her in the position that I wanted, and I was able to still move the paint around. It's been probably about a half an hour, 40 minutes, and it's still really wet, so I can still move it around the way I want it. So I'm now doing some fine details with a pin, and I'm just going to show you some of the things that happen if I can hold the camera steady enough. Like say if I want to, I think all the things that I'm doing here over time will result in some other effects. I don't know how close I can get and still be there. But every brush stroke I make results in some really cool, subtle effects. Like if she had long fur, I could make some really swirlies, like to make, like say if it's a golden doodle or something, I could do some little wavy patterns. create or simulate those types of fur. But Gertie has really short, straight, almost cat-like fur. She's got really super soft, fine hair. Very cat-like. So I don't want to do too many strokes because then that will kind of take away from her. But like, see, I want to make the lines for her paws. There's some blue underneath the white. So all I do is I drag this through it, and then I can get some abstract looking lines for the paws. And like, say if I want this ball to be super swirly, okay, so this is what I have so far, and I've been using a needle and moving the paint around, and then the other thing I did was I take a little tiny piece of paper towel, and this is to kind of shade where I want it to shade, and I set it on the paint and I drag it to create some smooth areas. That's a very small scale there, but I just wanted to kind of show you. I've used like larger pieces of paper towel too, where I just set it on the paint and then I drag it really slowly like that to make the kind of musculature show a little more. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, she's ruining it. But I think things will happen over time. Hopefully there's still going to be some cells pop up in that.